You need to really become very familiar with that rubric, especially the highlighted words that we did yesterday. Today we're going to spend a little bit more time exploring the concept of discovery by looking at these 5 questions here. Don't worry about writing the question out, just answer them in full sentences, please. So obviously, because you guys have only just started learning about this, you probably don't have an idea formulated fully in your mind yet. That's totally fine. But you will have some ideas that you can explore so far. So you've got just a few questions here. What initiates discovery, in your opinion? What has to happen for discovery to take place? Good. I love how you're using words from the rubric. Did you realise you were? Yes. So if possible, when you're answering these questions, try and incorporate some words or phrases or even just concepts from the rubric to help formulate your answers, okay? So yes, I would agree with you. Curiosity. Is that the only thing?
The necessity of one.
It's all there, isn't it? But just try and write it your own way, but certainly use the vocab from that, okay? What forms can discovery take? What are the effects and outcomes of discovery? How does context impact discovery? That one you'll have to think about a lot for yourself. And are discoveries always welcomed? I'm going to add to that, explain your answer. The idea of these questions is not just to regurgitate the rubric, even though I do want you to use words and phrases from the rubric. I want you to engage with it and tell me your own opinion. Okay, tell me your own thoughts and ideas about it as well. All good? So when you're interacting with that rubric 3, look for some of the verbs like lead, stimulate. What else is there? There's also a line in the second paragraph with the word impact in it, which you could use to help answer that question as well. And I know that that's here as well, but this question's really focusing on that part. Cool. Okay, so for this one, you're going to look at these North Face clips that I've put there. So this might spill over into the next lesson. So we're going to look at one called the Explorer, 5 to 9 and Evolve. You're going to fill out that handout that I just gave you. So in that, I want you to write down the rubric words or phrases that match the particular clip. So you've got a whole bunch of words there in front of you. So you have to try and isolate words, individual words or phrases or concepts and ideas that actually match the little stories that are being told. And also I'd like you to be on the lookout for language forms and features. So they are films, they're very short films, and so they're going to use film techniques to help tell their story and shape meaning, aren't they? So you want to be on the lookout for some really notable film techniques that are used. We call them all language features, but in this case they're film techniques. Also, if there are any quotes that you think are significant for our area of study, which is discovery, then you can jot them down in there. Don't panic about trying to get everything down. Just do what you can, and if necessary, I can replay the clip at the end. Okay? Make sense? Okay, so you've just watched that clip from the North Face YouTube channel called The Explorer. So what film techniques did you notice this second viewing? Music. What does the music do? What words would you use to describe the music first? Yes, motivating or inspirational music. Yes, get used to writing those words, because whenever we're providing evidence, we want to be really specific and detailed. When the music increases in volume and the feeling of excitement and emotion, you can use this word called crescendo. So it does. You feel the music, it builds up into this crescendo, and I think it sort of peaks when it lands on his face or just after his face for optimal impact. So that C-R-E-S, it's a musical term, C-R-E-S-C-E-N-D-O. So that's a really great word to have in your vocab bank, because it means like not just music getting louder, but music building up to an emotional peak, which is deliberately done to evoke a response from the audience or the viewers. Good. What else did you come up with? Yes, lots of images and imagery of nature. A montage, so a series of different images depicting what?
Explore.
Yeah, people actually, so it wasn't just pictures of flowers and rocks and grass. It had really majestic places, you know, snow, cliffs, water thingies, waterfalls and rivers and stuff, and people in there, in those nature scenes, conquering things, exploring things, discovering things. Put a montage of nature images depicting something. Depicting what? Did you notice the kind of language he was using as he was speaking his voiceover, which we've already put down? He was using words like we and us, and the very first scene is of the baby, and he talks about when you see a new human baby, see you tomorrow. And what the impact of that on somebody, on another human being seeing a human baby. So that those words like you and we and us are inclusive language. Why would he want to use inclusive language and universal language? He's trying to convince us, actually, because remember, these, even though these are shown as little stories, they're actually trying to get us to do something. They're trying to persuade us to go and buy the products. So even couch potato Billy, who sits there and does nothing all day, they want to inspire him to think, oh, I could go down that cliff, maybe. All I need is one of those North Face jackets. But they don't say that. They're just trying to get an emotive response from the viewer. We're almost out of time. Let's just do one more. Did you notice anything else? Pardon?
Add colour.
Ah, talk to me about that. Good word. I was going to say to you, how can you be more specific with that? Saturated, vivid, exaggerated use of colour. Why would they do that? To make a feeling of it being larger than life, like this is the optimal experience that a human can have, and you must want it too, because we all want it with that inclusive language. And that was juxtaposed with some black and white footage, archival footage of people exploring back in the day, you know, before they had all this wonderful technology and fantastic products that you can actually buy from the company. So that was a really nice juxtaposition between that old footage and the really vivid colours. I've got heaps more on my list, but we might actually leave it there because it's pretty much time to finish up. Did you learn something today?
Yeah. Let's go.
Excellent. That's the right answer. Well done.